this is a very prosaic subject for some of us. The idea is that most people will deliver a PowerPoint speech that you can read the whole time. And what I'm saying here, tongue in cheek, is that this is a good example of what not to do. Okay? So what makes for great visuals? Kyle, what makes for a great visual? What catches your eye?
A picture.
A picture, which is not topography. Okay? Are we, what do you see here?
Topography.
Topography. And there's nothing worse, in my humble opinion, than the dreaded PowerPoint speech, which everyone does. And then they do this. They turn around and read it. So what should you do, fellow Toastmasters? You should have a flip chart or a computer in front of you so that you don't constantly correct yourself. So how many here have seen really bad PowerPoint speeches, right? Okay, you've got a good example of what not to do. Now, actually, hers was good because it was all pictures. There was no topography. You did. It's like you preceded my message. What is more boring than reading somebody's speech? Doing it while they're doing it. So by providing an example of what not to do, I'm hopefully driving home that you too can deliver a really great PowerPoint. A visual image, everybody's got different ideas what visual is. For some people, it's a picture of the subject. For some people, it's a counterpoint, right? You don't have to keep inside the box as to what a visual is, but it is not topography. Second main point, I come from a background where I used to work for a newspaper, and can you say topography? Right? It's very easy to get hooked on the words. The words should come from the speaker, not from the bullet point. When you talk about images, you can have complementary, neutral, or contrasting. Keep that in mind when you're doing your PowerPoint speech, because if you're making a point, sometimes it's good to start off with a neutral image, counterpoint, and then point. So that people go, oh, it's not this, but that. Learn to think about what you're doing before you get there. Create something that people go, ooh, and not, oh. I personally like pretty pictures. You know, having been once in the newspaper industry, you get to see a lot of pictures. And what makes for a great picture, it's a matter of opinion. You know, you look in magazines and you see some really good examples. You look in newspapers and you see quite a few really bad examples. There's a certain art in photography that is lost on people that are rather prosaic. Okay, so who said less is more?
You did.
I wish. Mies van der Rohe, he was a contemporary of Frank Lloyd Wright. Everyone remembers Frank Lloyd Wright. Most people don't remember Mies van der Rohe. He had a very simple, clean, and plain style. I like it. I'm a minimalist. You'll notice in most of my stuff, I keep it down to the bone because that's the way I go. I roll. I like to keep it clean, even though some of the subjects I will touch upon are rather complicated. If you can't break something down to its basic components, especially when you're speaking, don't speak about it. Dale Carnegie said it very well. If you have the right to speak on something, speak on it. If you do not, nod, smile, and say, sorry, can't comment. And that's very important because, you know, a good bad example. Sorry, I guess I must have the timer on the cast. A good bad example is one of my associates in another club made a comment on women's health regarding a certain type of cancer that women get in their breasts. And everyone looked at him and went, you don't have the right to speak on that subject. You're not a doctor. You're not an authority. You're just another guy. So realize it's a really good idea. If you have the right to speak on a subject, then you do. And if you don't, less is more. The images, whatever makes an image, I use the computer, I use my phone. It's easy. Grab something on your phone, throw it to the computer, put it in PowerPoint. It's very easy. As a public speaker, we're here to learn public speaking. Do your own speaking. Allow PowerPoint and your flip chart to do all the words. It's believed that you can convey better ideas with images. Now comes the test. How many visuals were used in this speech? One. And that is less is more. So a good bad example. Take it to heart, fellow Toastmasters. Next time you design a PowerPoint presentation, put all your words on a flip chart, not on your PowerPoint. Madam Toast.